Hey, mama friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Mama Work It podcast, where we support women in the juggle of mom life, work life, wife life, fill in the blank life. If you are new around here, my name is Marissa Lonick. I am your host, the founder of Mama Work It, and most importantly, a mama of 4 kiddos. I am so happy you're here today. We are diving into a topic that I think can truly transform the way we parent, the way we connect with our kids, and our own mental health of just the way we see the world around us. And that topic is gratitude. So I'm so happy you're here. Like I said, I'm grateful you're here in a spirit of gratitude and appreciation. And what we're going to do is we're going to unpack a bunch of different ways, simple ways that we can practice gratitude for ourselves, with our kids. We can teach them how to practice this because I get it. For a lot of people, gratitude isn't always like top of mind. We're busy, we're running around, we have a million things weighing down our very heavy mental load as moms. And so it maybe doesn't always get like a front row seat in life. But first, I'm going to tell you like why gratitude even matters. Let's start with the basics. First and foremost, gratitude isn't just about saying the words thank you, even though that certainly can be a place where it can start. It is about cultivating this attitude of appreciation for little things, big things, and everything in between. I kid you not, even when crappy things happen, I have learned to lean into the fact that there's a reason this is happening. I'm grateful for the lesson it's teaching me, or it's going to make sense in a week, a month, a year. I just know it. I am leaning into that and trusting the process. So it's been super helpful for me just as a woman, a human, but I'm also really working hard to teach this to my kids because life is going to be full of disappointing moments. We know this, right? We've been there, we've lived it, we're living it. And the more we can lean into gratitude, the easier sort of that punch is going to feel, or whatever, however you want to envision that moment, the better we're going to be able to cope and handle it. So for kids, practicing gratitude, it's going to help them, obviously, just like it helps us develop empathy, develop resilience, and really lean into the habit of having a positive mindset. And once again, for us as parents, what I love about practicing gratitude, especially for someone like me, who I feel like my default is to go on high speed, like this high speed, when you like fast forward, maybe you're fast forwarding the podcast right now and listening to it at like 1.5 or even 2.0. Bless you if you are. I cannot absorb information at that level, but I usually do, like when I listen to books, put them up to like 1.25. I can handle that. But it helps me slow down when I'm in more of a mindset of gratitude. It helps me shift my perspective, like I said. And it even helps me find joy in the daily grind of being a working mom, where there is just so much to do. The to-do list is often very lengthy. The mental load feels heavy. So much responsibility, just all the things. And so let's lean into this today. I would encourage you, if you're listening in a place where you can jot down some notes, feel free to do that. If you're not, it's not safe for you to do that, like you're driving or you're on a walk or a run, totally get it. You could always come back, re-listen, and check it out then. All right. So here we go. Gratitude practices. We're going to run through a list of about seven options I think I'm giving you. So take what works for you, leave what doesn't. You know me, I like to keep things super simple. So none of this is going to be like this huge, big shift investment of your time or money or anything, but it can have that big of an impact, I will say, on your life. So first idea, you've heard this before. A lot of this maybe you've heard before, but let this be a reminder. First idea is keeping a daily gratitude journal. So writing down 1, 2, 3 things, maybe even 5 things you're grateful for each morning or each night. This can be something you do for yourself, by yourself. It can also be something you do with your family. It could be something like a whiteboard on the fridge where you write down 3 things you're grateful for every day as a family, or people can fill in things they're grateful for as they pass by the kitchen. So it can be a family practice. It could be something you talk about, the 3 things we're grateful for every day on your way home from school, on your way to school. It could be something you keep a running list of. So maybe this is a little notebook or a journal that is private to you, or is a family notebook or journal. Maybe it's just like a really lengthy piece of paper that you keep taping pieces to, and it just becomes super long, like even longer than the length of a CVS receipt. I think it's pretty cool too when you are keeping track of this, like it's not something you're erasing every day, like on a whiteboard, that you can look back on it, every week, every month, every year. And it can become this really cool, like treasured piece of history for your family, and a great way to keep gratitude front and center. So that's one idea. Another idea is deep breathing, like taking mindful moments, mindful pauses, especially when things feel really overwhelming, when things feel chaotic, when we're having anxious thoughts. Again, this is for us, but this can also be things you do with your kids. I have taught my kids lots of breathing exercises. If you've followed or listened to me for a while, you know that my kids have started meditating and asking for guided meditations a lot of the time, but even just like taking mindful moments of like deep breathing, vagus nerve breathing. If this is something that's sounding weird or unfamiliar to you, I'll just give you a really quick way to do that. So obviously you can do some deep box breathing. Box breathing is when you inhale for 4, you hold at the top for 4, you exhale for 4, and you hold that out for 4. And it's kind of makes like the shape of a box in your breath. And it just kind of resets, allows you to really focus on the breath, take a pause, take a mindful moment, and maybe think of something you're grateful for during that. Vagus nerve breathing, really great way to kind of reset the nervous system. Breathing deeply in through the nose for a count of 4 or a count of 6, and then breathing out through the mouth for longer. So if you breathe in for 4, maybe you breathe out for 6. If you breathe in for 6, maybe you breathe out for 8. You can adjust this to what makes sense for you, your littles, whatever, but it's a great way to kind of like reset, recalibrate, and maybe add. And I'm going to think about one thing I'm really grateful for in this moment, even though I'm freaking out or I'm panicking or this bad thing happened or it really feels chaotic and I'm overstimulated or whatever it is. Okay, next tip. Gratitude reminders. I love this one because I'm one of those people that need a reminder for like everything. I don't know about you, but like if it doesn't go in my Google Calendar, it's probably gone forever, right? Like if I don't put a reminder on like a sticky note, I do virtual sticky notes on my desktop or my Google Calendar reminder or just anything like that. If I don't write it down or put it in one of these tech spaces, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. And so if you operate like this might be a good one for you. So you can use real sticky notes, you can use alarms, you can even use like apps or like Google Calendar reminders or things to remind you to practice gratitude. And I love this for my kids too, because I'm really trying to not only set an example to them that like these are things I pause and reflect and practice and do. It's kind of like when they used to see me meditating and then they started doing it. I didn't necessarily ask them if they wanted to meditate. I didn't teach them how to meditate. They just saw mom doing this like all the time in the mornings and they got interested. So this could be another way that they get interested in gratitude. Right now, 3 out of 4 of our kids have an Alexa, one of those like Echo Dot things you can talk to, right? Like, Alexa, set an alarm. Alexa, put a timer on. And they use it a lot. They use it like to put timers on when they're playing video games because we have strict rules about that. They use it now to set alarms for waking up in the morning, playing music, whatever. None of them have phones. So it's been a really great like tech tool for them. And what a cool idea to be like, Alexa, remind me to be grateful for 3 things at 8:30 when I'm getting ready to go to sleep. Or Alexa, remind me when my alarm goes off to think about something I'm grateful for, or whatever that is. So I love reminders, utilizing the tech in your house, or even just like a plain old sticky note, putting it on the mirror or the fridge or something like that to remind yourself to be grateful, or what's one thing you're grateful for right now, or whatever you want to put on that reminder. The next tip number 4, is a really simple one that I love so much. I tell lots of my clients about this, or I talk about it a lot at workshops and presentations I give, because it's so simple and easy to implement. Okay. So this is when you wake up in the morning and you are getting out of bed, and you put one foot down and then you put the other foot down, right? So it's really easy. We're already doing it. And the habit that you want to form to be able to wake up with a mindset of gratitude is when you put one foot down, you say thank. And when you put the other foot down, you say you. So the first 2 words, hopefully coming out of your mouth, or the first things you think about that day, are the words thank you. And it just puts you in this space, this headspace of gratitude to start your day on such a positive, appreciative, grateful note. So I think that is such a simple, easy one. Any of us can do it. It requires like zero prep, zero supplies, zero thought, even, honestly. You just have to get in the routine of doing it, and then it becomes habitual. All right, what else do I want to share with you? Okay, another tip. I actually have not done this one, but I've seen it so many times and I want to do it. So this is a good reminder for me too, is having a gratitude jar in your house. So if you've got like a mason jar, or, we'll often save like sometimes those jam jars or applesauce jars or something. Like, you could probably make this super cute too if you're crafty and decorate it or do something really fun. But have your kids write or draw something they're grateful for on a little piece of paper. Maybe you have some index cards next to it, or you cut up some scrap paper. And this could just like live in a common space in your house. It could be something that you encourage they do daily, weekly, or just when they feel like it. And I love the idea of, revisiting these notes together, either at the end of a week or a month or even a year if you've got a really big jar, and that's pretty cool. So I haven't done this one yet. I do think it's a really cool idea, and I just love it and wanted to share it with you too. All right, another tip here, tip number 6, would be to have kind of like a bedtime gratitude ritual. We have done this one before, and we still sort of do. We incorporate it in our bedtime prayer routine. And so each night before bed, you ask your kids, hey, tell me one thing you're thankful for today. That doesn't necessarily have to be at bedtime. I guess you could do this maybe when you're sitting around the dinner table, if that's something part of the conversation you want to do, or, it could be on that drive home from school, or really anytime. But I love the idea of it being a bedtime ritual, because it's sort of like the last thing you talk about before bed is something really positive and something they're grateful for. And it just kind of leaves that lingering in the subconscious. So I love the idea of this being more of like a bedtime ritual. And I would encourage you to also share something. Like, don't just ask your kids that question, but have them ask you, or just offer your own gratitude item at that moment, so that, it's sort of like a thing you're doing together. All right, last one here, and this might seem kind of like old school and lame, but I still do it, and I still have my kids do this, is sending thank you notes. Like just encouraging them to handwrite thank you notes or draw thank you notes to family, to friends, to teachers, whoever. This could be, after a birthday when they've received gifts, or after a holiday, or even just like after this particular person did something nice for them, and just calling it out. And I love this practice. I think yes, it is kind of old school, but I just love it because I think it's a big part of raising kids that are the opposite of entitled, right? Is just showing them like, hey, if someone does something nice for you, the nice thing to do back is obviously to say thank you, but this could be like the extra mile that you go to really show them how much you appreciate them and what they did, or what they thought of you and bought you that thoughtful gift, or showed up to your party, or whatever it is. So if you're not in the habit of thinking, and listen, I get it. I get it. This is not always the easiest thing to do with kids, especially if you've got a party and you had like 20 kids there. Man, I've been there. Writing the thank you notes with the kids is hard. It's like probably even more painful than when you have to do like the Valentines during that time of year. But I do love the idea of just making that a non-negotiable, honestly. Like when we have birthdays and things and they're getting gifts and being treated extra special, that they show that gratitude and appreciation. So those are my 7 tips, ideas. I've done a lot of them. I haven't done all of them, as I mentioned, but I'd like to. And I just want to encourage you, like, practicing gratitude. It's not only going to help you, but it's practicing it as your family is just like a really awesome way to introduce that into your parenting. You can start this super simple, like getting out of bed and saying thank you. You can, go a little further and make this into like a journal or a practice that you do together as a family on a daily basis or weekly basis or whatever. I get it. It is not always easy when you're busy, when you're running around, when routines are out of order, or especially when like you feel like it's kind of hard to be grateful on some days. And maybe especially with your child, if something happened that really upset them, or they're feeling really overwhelmed or anxious, it can be hard to ask them, hey, well, what are you grateful for today? And they're like, well, today really sucked. So I don't know. But what I want to encourage and remind you about is that gratitude can exist alongside crappy days, alongside things that feel really like they're not going your way, or it just felt like a really bad day, or whatever it is. And it doesn't mean we're ignoring those situations, those feelings. We can totally acknowledge them, talk about them, feel them. I mean, it's good to feel the feels, even when the feels don't feel that good. And letting kids know that, hey, you can have both of those feelings and they can exist at the same time, right? Like you can have had a really crappy day, and you can also still be grateful that, you're healthy, or we had your favorite dinner tonight, or fill in the blank. So that is today's episode, mamas. I'm so excited to share some of those practices, ideas with you. I know I'm going to hop on board with some of the things that maybe have fallen off the bandwagon here, or that we would love to implement in our house. But just a reminder, gratitude, it's just like any other thing. It's a muscle we're building over time. It takes practice. The more we do it, the better we get at it. So like any habit that I like to encourage you to do, start small, be consistent, and watch how it completely shifts the energy in your home, in your heart, in yourself. If you need something to help with any sort of new habit that you're looking to instill into your life, whether that be a gratitude habit or something else, I'm going to link in today's show notes my free habit accountability tracker. It works wonders. It has helped me and countless clients develop new habits, and most importantly, get them to actually stick. Because I know we've all been there where we implement a new habit, we're going strong for day 1, day 2, maybe even day 5 or 6 or 7. And then life happens and we get off the bandwagon and it's tough to get back on. So check out that habit accountability tracker. I will link it in today's show notes, totally free. My gift to you. Maybe even utilize it with a new gratitude habit. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. I am so grateful. If this episode resonated with you, please go ahead, share it with another mama who might need some gratitude in her life. We all could use more gratitude, I think. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Mama Work It podcast. Until next time, mama friends, keep working it, keep loving it, keep finding those little moments of joy. I'll see you soon. Bye.